Hello and welcome to Finland and the Imatra Road Races, which is not only a round of the International Road Racing Championship, but it's also a standalone event in its own right. It's the biggest motorcycle race in the Nordic countries and returned to the calendar last year following the pandemic.
Dunlop with a pretty good start by the looks of things. Here they come down to turn one. Oh, and Moore has closed right in. Oh, what a big blow from Pekkanen. Moore is going to try and pull out of the slipstream if he can, but he's not close enough. It's the Finn who takes the win. Absolutely stunning. The appreciative Finnish crowd salute their heroes.
Once again, a host of top-class riders will take part this year, and following his recent podium finish at the Isle of Man TT, Frenchman Pierre Visbian's confident of carrying that form into this weekend.
I'm super happy to be here. I love this place. I have ridden in IRC a few times, since 2016, first time in IRC here. And my first ever podium in IRC 16, my first ever win in IRC in 17, so Imatra is a super place. This is a race to be part on the IRC championship. So the laps is less 2 minutes. You have 10 laps race, so yeah, short circuit. Me, I like the master. I like fight with other rider in the race, and yeah, it's cool. Just enjoy and continue to progress, and it will be cool to do podium, sure.
The red-hot favourite for honours in the Superbike class is Erno Costamo. He made his Isle of Man TT debut this year and last November won the Macau Grand Prix. However, his mind is very much on the weather right now.
This weekend is fantastic, maybe yes, but I hope so. Weather is very bad.
Today the weather is fantastic, but the forecast is promising tomorrow to be heavy rain. And we are just thinking maybe the race might be even cancelled if the rain is going to be that heavy. But hopefully we get the sunshine also tomorrow. Of course, we start with that we are last year's 3 victories. Of course, we go that goal. But of course, this year we have really tough competition with these great riders like Peter Hickman. But we'll see tomorrow what good comes.
Yes, that's right. The fastest road racer in the world is making his Imatra debut this weekend. Peter Hickman is a last-minute entry to the event and will be competing in both the Superbike and Supersport classes.
I'm really enjoying it so far. First time in Finland. The Imatra circuit actually looks really, really good. Better than what I even imagined, to be quite honest. TV never ever does it justice to any of the circuits that we ever go to. But yeah, the track actually looks really, really good. So super happy to be here. Looking forward to getting going tomorrow. Hopefully the sun's going to keep shining. It has forecasts, what everyone's told me, a load of rain. However, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? So apart from the classic open races, we're doing the Supersport and the Superbike. So I believe there's 7 races for myself in total. But generally speaking, it's Supersport and then Superbike, one after another, like pretty much all day. So free practicing into qualifying and then even racing on day one. Normally, apparently, there's a test day today, which would have been quite nice. However, for whatever reason, this year there is no test day today. So we've got to do it all in one day. So we're racing by tomorrow night, which will be super fun. Looking forward to it. Most of these riders I've never ridden against before. Obviously, I don't know the circuit, so that's going to be a new thing. It's not massive, but it's still long enough. You know, it's 4 kilometres round, so there's still enough to learn, and it's super fast. So you've got to be really careful. Let's just wait and see what happens.
Other riders to look out for include Pauli Pekkanen. He's racing in Supersport and, like most competitors in that class, will be on the Triumph. Another expected frontrunner is the German rider David Datzer. He's just in Superbike, the majority of which are contesting on BMW. There's also the sidecars. As expected, the entries dominated by Finnish crews, with Joni and Tiro Manninen aiming for at least a podium in each race. Pekka Päivärinta is something of an exception, is that he has a German passenger in the shape of Kevin Kolsch. The 3-mile-long Imatra circuit is part of the longer version, which was the home of the Finnish Grand Prix from 1964 to 1982, when it was part of the Grand Prix World Championship. Racing returned to Imatra in 2016, and this new shorter layout includes 11 turns, plus, just after the first corner, still runs over the railway line which crosses into nearby Russia, although that's currently closed. Unfortunately, the rain which was predicted has arrived, so the first race meeting will run under wet conditions.
So we are moments away from the first race at Imatra. Green flag is displayed, that red flag is going to disappear, and then they're told to watch the lights, and we're about to go racing at Imatra. Here we go, the International Road Racing Championship Supersport class is underway. Oh, a great start by Bian. Bian with great traction off the line. Here they go down for the very first time. So it is Bian from row 2. After all the drama of not being there, he leads ahead of Pekkanen. So he leads ahead of Pekkanen. Hickman is there in 6th place, but Pekkanen has gone through, so Pekkanen now leads. Giovanni's gone through. Bian is now back into 3rd place. My goodness, what a start, but they are kind of tiptoeing their way around a little bit. It is still very damp, although they are on wet tyres, of course. But it's Pekkanen who leads, and already those two threatening to pull away. Hickman back in 6th position. So down through RVS technology for the very first time, and already it's Pekkanen who is pulling away, but he's taken Giovanni with him as well. Bian is there, and a little gaggle of riders just tentatively making their way into Trukki-Palvelu for the very first time. But Pekkanen carrying on where he left off from qualifying. Very happy even in these less than ideal conditions here in Imatra. Just see Giovanni just a little bit cautious on the entry into the chicane, and Hickman might be thinking about a move. No, just tucks in right behind Letiranta. But it is Pekkanen who leads, and what a lead it is. So Giovanni was a little bit tentative, and also just coming up into the picture, the French rider Romain Savoyen. Where's he come from? My goodness. There he is on bike 373, so certainly fancies the conditions. Already up into 2nd place. Incredible, but as they are battling away for 2nd, Pekkanen is pulling away at the front and is already crossing the line now. This is an incredible opening lap from the Finn. Hickman is now getting a hurry on as well, but Pekkanen is already down the first turn. Here comes Hickman again, trying to find a way past Letiranta. Letiranta just tucks in behind Bian. But this man here, this Frenchman on bike 373, again, twitching around on that back wheel, certainly prepared to push things as they are in these wet conditions at Imatra. And Letiranta has just gone past Bian for 3rd place. They'll do well to keep these machines upright in these conditions. Pekkanen, though, incredible. What an opening lap and a bit from the Finn. Hickman just been behind his teammates, so Hickman now in 5th place. And he's just got great exit speed there as well. He might just try and fancy a move on his teammates. They go down through RVS technology. But Pekkanen is already down there, making his way through Sol for you. So they are, yes, and Hickman has indeed passed Bian. Bian just seemed to hold himself up a little bit as he got on the power out of that tricky right-hand turn onto that back straight. And Hickman made the most of it, used his momentum to carry him through to 4th place, and already Hickman now in 4th position, and Letiranta. So Hickman has Letiranta right where he wants him.
And maybe with a little bit more confidence now in himself and the bike in these conditions, Hickman might just fancy a move on the Finn. Already coming through, and he's crossed the line. Peckman's already started on lap 3. These guys are still on lap number 2. Now then, will Hickman fancy move on Letteranta coming in? I don't think so. Or maybe he's just letting the brakes off a little bit longer. He has. So Hickman goes through. Textbook from Hickman. He just didn't squeeze as hard. He squeezed at the same time, but not quite as hard as Letteranta. So Hickman is now to 3rd place and closing on Clee Savoyen. So that gap has come right down. And again, if he can get good exit, he'll be looking to make a move similar to Bian that he made on the previous lap. However, he'll have to come up with something very special. So, not on this occasion, because this man, Pekkanen, is pulling away. Well, I got some inside information from, now then, Hickman though. There's Hickman, goes through. Hickman's into 2nd place. Hickman is now into 2nd place. Peter Hickman up to 2nd. Incredible. So he started on row number 3, but already now Hickman is up into 2nd.
Well, Maurizio, still going, or is he? Looks as if he's finally saying enough is enough.
So Hickman still holding 2nd place as they cross the line, but here goes Letteranta for 3rd. Letteranta goes through now. So Clee Savoyen was incredible, really, because he started the race certainly not toward the front, and he managed to work his way through to 2nd place and seemed to be losing the following pack. However, he's since been swallowed up and he's now dropped back to 4th. Hickman, though, still in 2nd position. That gap still around 7 seconds. Brian McCormack is in. So Brian McCormack is in. Well, Pekkanen's definitely slowing up. That gap is coming down. That will encourage Peter Hickman. Larty's going for it, though. Here goes Larty into 3rd place. So Emily Larty goes into 3rd now. And the next time for him, look at the speed he's carrying. Comes right onto the back of Hickman's wheel, on the back of his rear. And Larty is in the mood. Larty's come out to play. And he is right behind Peter Hickman. And I think we're going to see a change for 2nd place soon, the way this is going. Emily Larty is carrying so much speed at the moment. Really confident. Here we go. Larty's going to go for him up the inside. Here goes Larty, who's going to try and take 2nd place. On the brakes. Here goes Larty. I don't think Peter Hickman might be too happy with that, but Larty goes through. Nice clean move, however, in these conditions. So Larty is through, and the way Larty's going, Pauli Pekkanen had better not take a look over his shoulder. So Emily Larty, incredible ride. But we've had a couple of false storms already, haven't we? We had Clee Savoyen. We thought at one point, well, he might hunt down the race leader. But Emily Larty is off. I think Peter Hickman will be saying, you can have that. So here comes Pekkanen. You can visibly see Larty looks quicker, even to the naked eye. The thing is, though, Pekkanen has got that advantage to play with as Larty slides it on the back wheel down into Triki Pavelu. So here they go. Now coming up, we'll soon be completing another lap. But this rain still coming down, not too hard, but it is still falling. However, not at a rate that it's going to put standing water or massive puddles on this racetrack anywhere at any time soon. So there is Pekkanen. Look at that gap now, 3 seconds. 3 seconds. We could be on for an incredible finish to this race. So, oh my goodness. Now, who is that going down? I'm not going to hazard a guess. Oh my goodness, now that has bounced straight back out. Oh,
and there goes arms goes up to red flag, and that will be because of what's happened. And I think maybe we will have a race. There we go, and that's the reason why we can't race with a bike right bang smack in the middle of the racing line. So that's a shame, but I think we will have a race declared. That is not official, of course. We'll have to wait and see. It should be race distance covered, but we'll wait for confirmation of that. If it is, then Pauli Pekkanen has won the opening race here. Good to see, though, that the rider is up on his feet and cursing his bad luck.
Eventually, it was declared a race result, with half championship points being awarded. Pauli Pekkanen declared the winner, with Emily Lahti settling for second, while Peter Hickman has a podium finish in his debut race at Imatra. Coming up next, it's the turn of the Superbikes to take to the track. Hello again from a still very wet Imatra in Finland, where the first Superbike race of the International Road Racing Championship is due to get underway. Lucas Mora of Switzerland on the Kawasaki's in pole position. Heading row 2 is Erno Kostamo, while Peter Hickman begins on row 3.
Lights go on. As soon as the lights have gone out, we can get underway. So we are racing at Imatra, and it is Superbikes pouring their way down to Pura. For the very first time, it's Mora who leads. It's all very tight as they go into this first turn. They'll do well to make it all the way around, when in fact they do, but it is Lucas Mora, the man in pole position, who gets out in front. But a great start from Den Best and Bike 65 up into second place. Costamo's already in third. Carlson is also up into fourth place by the looks of things. So it is Lucas Mora who leads. David Datzer on 22, just ahead of Peter Hickman. Hickman down in 6th place by the looks of things. Indeed he is. So it is Mora who leads from Den Besten. Then it's Costamo. But Costamo already eyeing up Den Besten and trying to take second place from him. In fact, he already has, and Carlson is now trying to follow suit and go into 3rd place. Oh, it's very tight. They're squeezing through further back, but he's just done it. Carlson, a cheeky little move from the Swede into 3rd place. And Den Besten, having got a great start off the line and made his way up into 2nd place, now finds himself relegated back to 4th. And here we go, change of lead. And who is it? Who else but Erno Costamo? Costamo leads from Mora, from Carlson. And it looks like it could be, it was that Hickman that was going to go through. Lahti is also another one to watch out for as well. He began on row number 4, and here goes Carlson on Mora. So Carlson goes through into 2nd place. So what an opening lap we've had. So Lucas Mora, pole position, led for most of it until he was passed by Costamo. From the Swede, with the Swiss in 3rd place. The German in 4th. Is that a British rider coming through into 5th place? Indeed, it could well be. Hickman just pulling out from behind Den Besten. So, not quite able to make the move on Den Besten as they go into turn 1 for the 2nd time. So Hickman remains in 6th place. Six different nationalities in the top 6 places. It is much to the delight of the home fans. It's the Finn who leads. Costamo from Carlson, Mora, Lahti, Den Besten, then Hickman. Oh, and Hickman might just get good drive out here and take Den Besten perhaps. They go down through RVS technology. Costamo already leading from Mora, Carlson, sorry, with Mora in 3rd place, Datzer 4th, Hickman not close enough for a move, but he'll just tuck in behind Den Besten. And already a gap from Hickman back to Valtonen in 7th place. Hickman looks as if he's getting in the move, a little wheelie this one at Vituri Palvelu, and he has gone through it. So Hickman goes through to 5th place. It looked like he was sizing up that move, and he's taken it. So Hickman goes into 5th. Den Beston goes back into 6th. Mora has already gone through. And they're losing touch with the front 3. So either Hickman wants Larty to drag them along, or Hickman wants Larty to get out of the way so he can make his way through and start challenging for another podium. It will be a big ask, of course. Still quite a few laps to go, though. Just see those back wheels, all that movement, and here goes Hickman now. Hickman goes through. Hickman takes 4th place from Larty. Now, though, he's making sure he can stop and turn in time. He's going to, so Hickman, nice and neat past Larty. Next for him is Lucas Mora, but is the Swiss rider just too far ahead of him now for the British rider to reel in. Still an incredible opening few laps from Larty. Meanwhile, this man continues to plough away out in front, all out on his own. Costomo. And with each turning point, he just keeps pulling out an even bigger advantage over Marcus Carlsen in 2nd place. Lucas Mora still in 3rd. Hickman, though, has closed that gap down a little bit. If he can maintain that, take around a second or so a lap out of Mora, maybe he can start thinking about challenging for that 3rd spot on the podium. And Costello already coming up on slower traffic. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Look at that advantage that he's got. 12 seconds now over Marcus Carlsen. Absolutely on fire. So there is more. There is Hickman. That is a big ask for Peter Hickman to close that gap down. See a line of sorts still now appearing, but they're on wet tyres, of course. So Larty still in a strong 5th place, but not quite able to keep up with Peter Hickman. Costomo already making his way past slower riders. But the battle could be on for 2nd place. Carlsen or Mora. And Larty has passed Hickman for 4th. So Larty has passed Hickman, so just all I can imagine, because Hickman had a little bit of road between him and the Finnish rival. However, maybe a little mistake from Peter Hickman on his debut here at Imatra has allowed Larty to go through into 4th place. So one more lap to go for Erno Costamo. A rider down, but it is off the racing line. However, there's a little bit of debris there. Who will take 3rd place? Larty's gone 2nd. Larty's gone 2nd, so Carlsen, was that Carlsen? It could well have been Carlsen. So Larty, who was 5th place for so long, up into 2nd place. Mora just behind in 3rd. But here comes Erno Costamo. He's going to take the win. The Finnish fans who are here delighted. There goes the leg, there goes the checkered flag. It's victory for Erno Costamo, and it will be a surprise 2nd place for this man, or who will it be? Mora. Here they come now. Mora's coming out of the slipstream. No, he shakes the head. It's too late. Mora has to settle with 3rd place.
Peter Hickman ends the race in 4th position with Lucas Mora in 3rd. It's another runner-up slot for Emily Larty and a dominant win for Erno Costamo. There's more racing from Imatra on the way. It's the 2nd day of racing at Imatra and time for the classic and retro superbikes, along with the GP250s, to take to the track. with Velainen taking the honours in a field dominated by Suzuki machinery. Tenstadt, the German rider in 8th place, is the first of the GP 250 machines. Next, the focus turns to the first of 2 sidecar races.
The lights go out and away we go, and it's the Maninens with a cracking start. So too Päivärinta from 3rd on the grid as they blast their way down to this iconic first right-hand turn, and it is the Maninens who lead. Artiola into 2nd place, Päivärinta into 3rd, was threatening to take 2nd. But it's the Maninens who lead, but for how long? That's the question. Can they keep that advantage out in front from Artiola and Laikari? Cracking start then. Oh, as they mount the curb. Oh, and a little moment as well. That was Herma and Räikkönen as they just got on the power. The machine squirmed from under them as they went on to RVS technology.
Watch again as they go, seeking traction, coming out of the turn and getting just enough to point it in the right direction.
So it is the Maninens still leading, and it is a very good lead to have. No, we didn't see a change for 2nd, but certainly Päivärinta is closing, it would seem, on Artiola. Here they go, trying to find a gap. It's not quite close enough to make a move this time. Now then, well, I was certainly picking up Artiola before the start, but at the moment Päivärinta is looking very threatening, back in 3rd place as they bounce their way through. It doesn't look like a 2.1 second lead anymore. Well, having said that, again, Päivärinta gets back on the power, and Artiola just maybe loses a little bit of ground through the first chicane. A suggestion maybe there might be some kind of top-end speed situation that Artiola might just have a little bit more grunt than Päivärinta in a straight line, perhaps, but it's still very close between these 3 outfits at the front, and Maninen still not able to break 3 of Artiola. The gap between 1st and 2nd place has reduced slightly by a few tenths of a second. Oh, a little bit of a slide, but it looks to be a controlled slide from Artiola. Päivärinta still very close by in 3rd place. It's on the power again, pretty much as it was as the previous lap. Let's see if he's just trying to stay out of the spray to see exactly where he's going. Is this the moment though? He's gaining, he's closing, it's going to be a change to 2nd place. He's got the line coming into this first-hand turn. It's all about the brakes though. Artiola, will he yield? No. He's going to, oh, will he? It's going to be close, and Artiola, that was a bold move from Artiola. Päivärinta certainly gave him food for thought when they went into that first-hand turn. But it is game on in this sidecar race, folks. So certainly I was suggesting perhaps some issues with top-end speed. Certainly no hint of that as they race down together. So here they go to attack this long straight now. Päivärinta just as close as he was to Artiola on previous occasions. This time, no. Instead of going the long way around, he looks about thinking to go up the inside if he can, and he's got him. They've gone through. So that worked for Päivärinta, and Artiola just away from the camera there, so that we have a change for 2nd place. And having been thwarted here on the previous lap by Artiola, Päivärinta has gone through. Now then, the question is that because they've been battling away, it's allowed the Maninens to pull away a little bit at the front. However, now, having shaken off Artiola, can Päivärinta do something about the Maninens? That's what's the question we've got next. Meanwhile, Mäkelä is still threatening to take 4th away from Herma. So looking down on this wonderful racetrack, beautiful scenery. Paiva-Rinta is closing all the time. He's gaining, and that is certainly less than a second now. It's in fact it's 0.6 of a second. Paiva-Rinta looking to maybe go a little bit tight on the turn. Drifts out though. Trying to continue with as much top speed as they can. Slide again from the Mannanens. Paiva-Rinta is looking very menacing in second place now. So just coming up to the start-finish straight, there is plenty of time for them to do something about grabbing the lead of this race. Will they do it by the time they get to the end of this straight and they go into turn one? It looks as if they've got it. It looks as if they've just taken the lead. Indeed, they have. Their noses in front. Can they get it turned in time? That's the question. The Mannanens will just have to tuck in behind. Can they get round in time? Yes, they can. The Mannanens, though, fighting back and take over the lead again. The Mannanens just managed to get their noses in front. My goodness, what a race we have on our hands. Paiva-Rinta will just have to tuck in behind and maybe look for good exit speed as they go on to RVS technology. But Paiva-Rinta certainly grabbed the lead from the Mannanens there, but it was all about managing to get round that first turn.
And this is the moment they did it into this first turn. Just keeping on the power, keeping on the speed, but the Mannanens then hitting back to reclaim top spot.
So here we go. Just tucking in behind in a moment, we'll see. Sometimes, though, it depends what gap, and they'll go right. They'll do it again. It's the same again. Are they close enough, though, to make a move? Here goes Paiva-Rinta. It's the same as you were. I don't think it's close enough as they were, but I think they're in the league now. Yes, indeed, they are. Just about. But will the Mannanens lead? Oh, my goodness me. It's peeping through fingers time. Oh, they have gone too hot. Mannanens have gone too hot. That was always on the cards, always a possibility. And I think they've just thrown away this race.
And this is just a bit too hot into the turn. Runs onto the grass, but saves it in the end, but they've lost a lot of time.
Paiva-Rinta, who's managed the fastest lap at 2:16.0. That was on that last lap. So a 2 minute 16.0 for Paiva-Rinta and Kolsch. The Mannanens with a 2:18.1. That's been their best lap. Mäkelä and Sopper a 2:19.4. And Räikkönen back in 8th place. They managed a 2:19.6. The Belgian outfit that haven't managed to get out today. Kurt Gusser and Kurt Rhodes. Here they come then, checkered flag awaits. For Pekka, Paiva-Rinta and Kevin Kolsch, they take the checkered flag. Victory is theirs. And boy, did they work for it. Absolutely fantastic performance, working in harmony.
This is how the first sidecar race this weekend ends. Pekka Paiva-Rinta and Kevin Kolsch working their way to the top of the podium in some very testing conditions. There's more sidecars to come, but next, it's Supersport. Hello again from Imatra in Finland, where the Vuotsi River continues to flow, and so does the racing. Next, it's the Supersport 600 class.
Watch the lights. Will it be Pekka who'll get the great start yet again? Or will it be Bian, who had an absolute stormer yesterday from row 2? Here they go again. It was Bian who led into the first turn. And Bian with quite a good start, but it's going to be Pekka who leads from Triveni, but Bian goes up into second place. Bian goes through, everyone just tentatively making their way round. So it is Pauli Pekkanen who leads from Triveni. Bian's gone backwards, unfortunately for him, for the Frenchman. 22 Lati has got a much better start this time. He's already up into third place. So Pekkanen already threatening to pull away. Lati, though, is looking menacing in third place, and he could be in second. And there is that is Jorn Hamburg. I'm not sure, he's obviously not happy about something, but looks it's technical and it's certainly not weather conditions. So disappointment again for Hamburg, and Lahti had indeed gone up into second place, and Lahti can now maybe do something about reeling in this man who's threatening to dominate proceedings in the Supersport class at Imatra once again. Pauli Pekkanen out of Kaiman Trikipavelu. Start to, or both the, well, certainly both the Finns, Pekkanen and Lahti already threatening to pull away from Cerveni as well. But Pekkanen with a second advantage on this opening lap. So over Kiisa Imatra into Tamminen. This is the part of the track that will take longer to dry because it's covered by the trees. Already the Finns, the two Finns that finished first and second in yesterday's shortened Supersport race, already making a similar fist of it this time around. But Pekkanen absolutely superb. Started in pole position, starts as pre-favourite of course, and already pulling further and further away from Lahti. Cerveni's trying to stay with him. Hickman in fourth place as well, trying to keep on to the front three if he can. So one lap completed. It's Pekkanen from Lahti, from Cerveni, from Hickman, from Tanskanen. Letiranta, Bian has dropped back down to 7th now after his good start. Koski, Froscher, Uski, they are the top 10. Vendel goes up into 11th place. Not sure what's happened to Brian McCormack. Here comes Emily Lahti. Just really has to try and keep Pekkanen in his sights if he can. He rides the curb so much, so that's how hard he's trying to keep up with his compatriot. But Pekkanen again dominating at the front. Hickman though has closed in a little bit on his Czech Republic rival, Cerveni. He's also got Tanskanen right behind him as well. A little gap back to Letiranta and then Bian. Well, there is Brian McCormack. So maybe a transponder issue. Oh, and Froscher just getting his braking wrong by the looks of things. Oh, Hickman is threatening. Hickman is really threatening now. He said yesterday in his post-race, as the race went on, in fact I'm saying this now, it looks like it's going to be Tanskanen that's going to take 4th place from Hickman. So Tanskanen just looking for that gap. Oh, it's a big move. That's a very big move from Tanskanen, and Hickman goes down. Hickman goes down. I don't think he's going to be very happy with Tanskanen there. No, he's not at all. What was Tanskanen thinking? Peter Hickman goes down.
Here they come again. Hickman just leaves the gap there for Tanskanen to go through, but as they go through, Tanskanen just sits it up momentarily, and that knocks Peter Hickman off his triumph and out of the race. Hickman far from happy.
So Pekkanen continues to pull away out the front, and right on cue he appears on screen. Emily Lahti unable to do anything, but there is, you can see that dry line appearing just on the racing line. So if they have gone for an intermediate now, then he's going for it again. Letiranta has done it again. He's got him on the brakes. So it's nip and tuck between Letiranta and Tanskanen. Letiranta goes through. Now then, keep an eye on 93. Tanskanen, will he adopt the same ploy this time? Just got this next lap to go at Kaiman Veturipalvelu. I'll get my teeth back in. Kaiman Veturipalvelu. But here we go. Now watch 93. Takes it wide, does he? A little bit wider. Not as... Oh, yes, he does again. Gets on that power, however. Doesn't work for them on this occasion. And Letiranta holds on to the position. Maybe Letiranta could have maybe had the wrong gear selection on the previous, and that allowed Tanskanen to power his way through. So anyway, it is disadvantage. And again, Tanskanen all over the place. He doesn't mind sliding that rear wheel. But it is, as I said, an advantage for Lettiranta in this battle for third. They are a good distance down, and already you can just see Lettiranta just powering away from Tanskanen. Bian holding 5th place. Giovanni again dropping down the order. And look who's in the slower traffic already. Pauli Pekkanen. Brian McCormack, by the way, is in 8th place. So Brian McCormack is in 8th. He is just behind Koski and just ahead of Frosche and Uski. So it's a very close battle. So apologies, he's not appearing on the screen at the moment if you're wondering where Brian McCormack is, but he actually is on track and he is in 8th place. Frosche is in 9th, not 8th, as the display shows on screen, and Uski is in 10th. Pauli Pekkanen continues to lead then from Emily Lahti, and he's maintaining that now, just looking at his lap times. He's put in the fastest lap of the race so far at 2:05.9. He's just dropped back into the 2:06s. He knows exactly what he's doing. Very intelligent racing from Pauli Pekkanen. On a track that is drying, still fairly wet though. Dominant display from Pauli Pekkanen. It's not over yet, of course, but it looks like being a dominant display from flag to flag, or from lights to flag. Just has to make sure he has nothing untoward with any of the slower riders just making their way around Imatra right now. And exactly this is, but he's got the time to play with, and a little shake of the head. Again, no blue flags display to let the slower traffic know that the faster guys are coming through. So Pauli Pekkanen, not too far to go. He's negotiated this 4.9 kilometre track with poise, with excellence, with superb skill. And he's going to take his 2nd victory of the weekend here at Imatra. Down into Tamanen, and already the applause is ringing around the circuit for him. For Costomo in the Superbikes, Reed, Pekkanen in the Super Sport class here in Imatra. It's going to take something very special from somebody else to stop either of those two taking the honours in Super Sport or Superbike. A cheeky little wheelie from Pauli Pekkanen. A little glance behind to make sure Lahti wasn't closing. Lahti has closed the gap down a little bit. And you can see Lahti just coming into the picture now. There we go. Number 1 for Pauli Pekkanen yet again. Emily Lahti with a very strong 2nd place.
Confirmation of the result and another superb display by Pauli Pekkanen, who takes the win with Emily Lahti 2nd once more and Lettiranta snatching 3rd. Peter Hickman, meanwhile, waiting to get a lift back from teammate Pierre Vispian, but not until he hears from a very apologetic Tanskanen. That's it for now, but there's more racing still to come from Finland. So join us again next time for the 2nd and final highlight show from the Imatra Road Races.